All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Sing. And first of all, I want to give all praises to the Most High for allowing us to be here today, allowing us to make it through another year. This is 2025. And first of all, once again, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in to this video, if you will. Let me know where you coming from. If this your first time, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I see you, Tony, TBZ, and Amelia. What's going on, everybody? Jasmine, what's going on? Jay Marissa, I see y'all in there. Make sure y'all share the video. Today, Dana Lamar, what's happening? We're going to Rodriguez Protect by God's Son. I see y'all, Alabama in the house. Lisa Love. It's a definitely pleasure. What's up, man? What's going on? It's definitely a pleasure, man, to be spiritual rising. I see y'all. What's up? Win in silence. Pray 777. Okay. Yeah, definitely, man. All praises, man. All praises to God. Don't worry about it. What's going on? And I think this Taye Gibbs. Taye. Appreciate y'all, man. I think this is my first formal live of the year. Andre Edgar, shalom, peace and blessings of the year. And today, Samuel Hargrove, what's up, Trish? Let's tell the truth. Today is actually the 4-month anniversary, Fear Perry, I see you, of the young brother, Mr. Javion Magee. What's going on, everybody? Who was found in Vance County, North Carolina. It's been 4 months exactly to the day on September the 11th. I see y'all got some name, Nubian Queen. I see y'all. I see everybody coming in, man. It's a pleasure to see y'all. It's been a while. It's been a while for the live views. But today is actually the 4-month anniversary of the demise of our young brother, Mr. Javion Magee. And if you're not familiar with the case, I'm pretty sure. What's going on, Tracy? I see you. Iris, everybody. So basically, Javion Magee was the 21-year-old truck driver from, they say Chicago, but he was in the suburbs of Chicago, who was found on September the 11th in Vance County on the lot of T&R Truck and Repair with a rope around his neck. And he was initially preliminarily ruled that, it was an instance where he took his own life. And Bellwood. My fault. Yeah, my fault. Bellwood, Illinois. Yeah, and I actually, and shout out first of all to his parents. He was fortunate enough to have two sets of parents who loved him, Gees, and man, it's been so to Marcus and Tierra Gates. Sasha Fish, there you go. I see you, baby. Peace and blessings. I appreciate you. But yeah, today is actually 4 months, man. And he's been on my mind. A lot of people have been asking me, what is the updates during this case. And I have received some information, that it seems that the prayers that we prayed and the investigation that we did and the attention that we brought to this matter is basically making the powers that be the leadership basically implode or explode before our very eyes. I know it's been about 4 months, and it's been about 2 or 3 months since we've really been putting the pressure on them as far as calling and visiting down there and calling the police. But as you saw last month, the sheriff Brain, the sheriff who kind of refused to admit certain things through the investigation. We had the famous clip where with him saying, there was nothing suspicious about how Javion was found. He mentioned that, from the time Javion stepped foot in Vance County, from the time he was found, we have a track record of him, and he, was vehemently denying anything happened to him. And the last month, he was in front of the county commissioners of Vance County. And during that meeting, he was actually asking them to provide him with finances to deal with a civil suit that has been filed against him. What's going on, Khadijah? And so the county commissioners was basically denying him money to defend some of the allegations that a civil summons has been filed against him. Now, the civil summons comes from the 3 deputies who were known in Vance County to be confiscating and targeting people. They tried to take a Cadillac from somebody they stopped. They went to the person's aunt's house and tried to bully her into signing the title over. And these officers were indicted on serious charges. And these officers were initially, I think, suspended with pay, but now I think they are back working. And Sheriff Brain issued a statement saying that he supports these men in their actions. And it is because of that, after they were arrested, I think the people are filing suit against him for supporting the erroneous actions of his officers. So while he was at that meeting, and you can go, I think we covered it, I think I did a live on that, you can go see him pretty much begging them, like, ain't I the sheriff? Ain't I the sheriff in this town? I need more money to cover this lawsuit. And then him and the city and the county manager or the county attorney was going back and forth, like arguing, like they was ready to come to blows, right? And so this, that gave me encouragement, because once again, when you do stuff like this, when you cover stuff up like this, it's gonna destroy you internally. And I think that was just the beginning of what we're seeing now. And I also received some information that I'm going to share with you during this broadcast about the city as well. They are calling for the resignation of the mayor, Melissa Elliott. Now, keep in mind, both Melissa Elliott and Sheriff Brain are Black. But and when Javion's case first reached the news, everybody was saying that Henderson is a sundown town. And a lot of people that lives there, said, nah, it's not a sundown town. It's 70% Black. And, that's why it's not. But keep in mind, the slave plantations were probably 90% Black. But they were still ruled by white people, and white people who were racist. But also in the slave time, they used things that they call, overseers or field masters or whatever, where they would place black people in positions of authority over those who were subjugated. Now, once again, I'm not, knocking anybody in Henderson, because I know we have some people in Henderson that have been riding for Javion and keeping us informed with information. But it has occurred to me that the powers that be, or even the community, or the people who have influence, are calling for the resignation of Melissa Elliott because of some of the things that she has done, and I'm going to get into that as well. But according to what I understand from the family, and I'll be honest, I see Mom Dukes in the chat. I haven't spoken with them probably since the new year. But from what I understand, the case is still under investigation. From what we heard last, that the FBI is still investigating the situation, according to information provided by the sheriff and those in that office. But once again, we have to take that as a grain of salt because of the past and their just overall unscrupulous reputation. And but it has definitely been on my mind. Don't get it twisted, because this is not a case that people have easily forgotten. And so that's why I wanted to come today on the 4-month anniversary. And when I talked to the medical examiner, I called the medical examiner a couple of months ago and asked for let them know that I ordered, a copy of the autopsy. And they said, well, it could take anywhere from 5 months to 17 months for them to be completed. And so, that is what Henderson is 70% black and run by whites who are the minority. How is that they continue to be the true minority in a town and control all the politics in that town? And that's what we have to really realize that a lot of these places are ran by the small majority, and it's the money. Now, as we all know, as you saw on the thumbnail, he was found on the property of TNR Trailer and Repair, which is owned by Mr. Ray and Faye Patrick. Now, Ray and Faye Patrick have a very close relationship with one of the main detectives, Captain Billy Gooch. If you look at previous videos, we've seen Facebook posts in which Faye and Ray Patrick commend Billy Gooch for helping them out. It's about 2 or 3 Facebook posts where the owners of this TNR trucker lot make it well known that they have a very close relationship with the sheriffs. And white people have been the most violent, evil, and racist people to ever walk the earth. Be careful, brothers and sisters. And yeah, and I wanted to do a whole show on that, just asking, like, and I know I have some white people in the chat who are supporters as well. So this is not directed to you, but why is it that white people hate black people so much? Like from all the way back to slavery, to the Karens of today, to the police. Like, what have we done to make white people hate us so much? Now, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And even some what have black people done to make y'all do that to us back in the days, and even now. But so that's what I wanted to do a whole live on that pretty much question right there. But so but the Patricks are very integral to this case because it happened on their property. Peace site. And they were or they purported to be the one who found him. And Ray Patrick, who's I think the owner, was the person who made that 911 call. Now the 911 call has been brought into question by several videos that it seems like this Patrick guy, he was laughing as he was telling the dispatch about what he was seeing. He was laughing. He was like, well, yeah, he looks, well, yeah, no, we don't need any defibrillators. She's gone. And, that was suspicious in itself, just by the way that he was just taking this situation. Even if it did happen, like, they say it happened, that's still a traumatic situation. That's something that you would be very concerned about. Hey, hurry up and get here, man. We don't know, man. I'm very concerned, about what's happening. That should be something that you are, more gentle about. But, the fact that he was so, laissez-faire, lackadaisical about, the way that our brother was found as watching bullying, that okay. And then there's a short answer is simple. Why a bully bullies bullies? Because we don't do nothing matter. It don't matter why they don't like us, just like it doesn't matter why this spooky guy don't like us. They are killers. So yeah, so fear. Yeah, okay. Just look at your hand or the melanin. Okay, like I said, we'll get back on that because but I really want to focus on the things that we have. They're afraid of blacks because if we to come together, we will be powerful. What's going on, Terry? I see you. But the fact that this guy who later said that they didn't have any contact with him. Him and the wife, they said they didn't have any contact with them, but it was later discussed from a family member of Javion's through the wife of Faye Patrick that you can ask my husband because he's the one who saw Javion coming across the street from the Shell station. Now, the Shell station, some of the people who are close to the Shell station has also provided information, about the circumstances surrounding this incident. Some people said that there was an altercation either in the parking lot or in the parking lot of the Shell station or in the parking lot of the TNR trailer. Trees here, right out of here. So that whole situation of whether or not there was a confrontation before he went to the Walmart or after he came back from the Walmart is essential to this investigation. Now, there is thank you, Gloria Wilma, I appreciate that. But there is a connection because we've heard several people who have watched these videos came up and said, yeah, I tried to park there before too. And they told me, to get my, ASS up out of there. And then they also, one guy said that, he didn't want to leave, but when the guy came and he called him, the guy said he called some other players and they pulled up in a pickup truck and came in and, he said, okay, well, I can tell they were armed. So there's a very territorial attitude that the Patricks have on that property. Now, there's also a co-owner of that property, and I think he is a black guy. Now, as I mentioned, the first week that I went down there, the first thing I did was park my car in that trailer parking lot and walk dead in the office, straight to the office. And before I got to the office, there were two black men who were sitting like when you walk in there, you walking straight toward the garage, and then the office is on the right where you can go in and talk to the management. So the guys were standing right on the edge of the garage in the walkway, and I was like, "Hey man, y'all work here?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, ain't this the place where the young man was found?" And both black men looked at me, and they looked at each other and walked back to the garage. That right there, I said, okay, it's deeper. It's bigger. It's bigger than what they're saying, in the news article. It's bigger. That little bit of, don't you come around here making no trouble for us. That little bit of, buckeye-ing and tap dance and look. I said, yeah. So let's go into the office. So I went into the office, and now in hindsight, that picture that you see of that couple, that is Faye that I talked to. There was a young white girl in the office, and I was like, hey, yeah, my name is Richard. I handed her my card, my Taylor House Publishing card. Yeah, I am a, investigator. I'm coming to investigate the situation where the young man was found. This is where he was found, right? The lady was like, the young white girl was like, well, you're gonna have to talk to the owner about that, right? And so she went back to the office, and that's right next door. So she went back to the office, handed the lady my card. Miss Faye Patrick came out of the office, 444 Divine Protection. I've been seeing that number a lot, and I know there is a spirituality to those numbers. So I definitely got to look up, what that number means, 444. I've been seeing that so many times. And so y'all tell me what that means in the comments if y'all can. But we so she came out, she looked at me, and she looked at my card, and I was like, yeah, is this where, the young man was found? I'm not saying, we're not saying anything. And she handed me my card back. And from then on in, in hindsight, that makes them a suspect. Now, in the 911 call also, we heard somebody in the background. We heard somebody in the background, and you can hear them saying, "Ah," and you can replace the F with a D and say duck, right? That's what he said. Ah, like he had seen something so horrific that, he had to let that explanation out. Now, according to, the information that they gave us, well, nothing was wrong, I'm not even gonna play that brain conversation, but yeah, he just, it looks like he just, tied the rope, and he and just peacefully, leaned over and went to his demise. But the way that man made that sound, he saw something that is not normal, right? And so that person in the back, we all have, been known, or well, according to the information obtained in the police report, is Mr. Quentin Bullock. Now, we've done stories on Quentin Bullock, and how it was alleged that he, when it happened, told several family members, several members of the community, yeah, he was beaten up when they found him, right? And then we also had the call from our other brother who, he corroborated that story. And you can go back and watch that video where the guy was like, this, you can, everybody knows that, somebody beat the F out of him when we saw him. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell anybody. That's what the guy said. And, unfortunately, I maybe shouldn't have put that information out because that may have put him in harm's way. Once again, this is my first time doing this. I'm not I just wanted the information out. And so that brother kind of, I guess, went into hiding. He's not willing as much to speak about that. But I think the fact that we have two people who were reportedly in the vicinity of that the findings of him, unequivocally saying, yeah, somebody beat him up, and listening to that call, whether the black brother, whom I assume was Quentin, was like, oh, and like people told me, like, Quentin ran across the street to the store and was like, he was mad nervous, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and basically, from what I understand, like, he has been going through something mentally because of this, not just because of, us, making it known that he found the body. No, just because of what he saw. Like, you can ask any members, and shout out to all of the brothers who serve in the armed forces. You can ask any member of the armed forces when they are over there and they seeing these bodies blown up, and their buddies laying down there bloodied, like, that is an unnatural feeling. So there's some post-traumatic stress that accompanies that. And so I believe that, he saw something that, he there are three things that the brother who saw the condition could do. But fear is a terrible thing. Yeah. And you can tell, like, because even the guy in the conversation, he was like, man, what, I gotta live here. I got a business to run. He will fear of losing money, but and accordingly, that there have been reported attacks. Like one of the men said that, Mr. Bullock's house had gotten shot up. Now, and I'm like, well, who would be shooting his house up? And he was like, my people. I was like, brother, I ain't got no people. Like he's like, I ain't got no, shout out to the Marine, man. I see y'all in there. But I was like, bro, I don't have any people that's going to be down there shooting up. Now, if the young boys, or there, we got some riders out there in Henderson County who are that invested in this, like we have been, and oh yeah, he saw him and he ain't saying nothing. But I we don't have anything to do with that. And and I think that got clarified. But I would assume that it's the people who are responsible for Javion's demise, or the people who are responsible for covering up Javion's demise will be the ones who are initiating attacks on these eyewitnesses. And so that is a major aspect of people who are people coming forth with information. Now, other people have came forth with information about people behind the scenes, connections, other police corruption, other deputies. People have given me information on, once again, the Torrance Terry detective. Now, Torrance Terry is reportedly the black man seen in the picture that has made so many people skeptical of this situation. Let me see if I can pull that picture up. But Torrance Terry, and I think it's making me laugh. I mean, making me lag. But that picture that everybody saw And I mean, there's so many pictures. Okay, here it is right here. So Torrance Terry is reported to be the black guy that is standing, right there to the left. That is the most talked about picture in which people say that, that is our brother Javion there the night before he was discovered. Now they say that, because it's the night before, there's no way that, he could be placed there without any foul play the morning up. So Detective Torrance was reportedly one of the ones who were in the room with the family as they were interviewed, while they were, I'll say, debriefed about their son's condition. Now, mind you, it took, I think, the mother and the father possibly like a week to get there from their respective locations. And when they got there, they said, it was kind of planned. They had the detectives in the room. They had a pastor. They had, they said, well, we don't, they showed them clips of videos and saying that, I think one person told her that, you wouldn't want to see your son, like that or whatever the case may be. But there was some type of communication where as soon as the family got there, the body was shipped back, to Illinois, so they weren't able to see the body in its current condition. But there was almost like a planned meeting, that they had. But Terry, getting back to Detective Torrance Terry, he was reportedly by the people at the Shell station came later on that evening and confiscated the videotape from the Shell camera, which have possibly showed what really happened to our brother Javion as he went back to retrieve his truck. Now, also, the people at the store stated that there were two other detectives. Now, these detectives, I'm going to assume that they said that one of them is Captain Billy Gooch. That's what I'm hearing. Captain Billy Gooch is actually over the head of the Internal Affairs Division of the Vance County Sheriff Department. And so he's the one who went in. I think they asked the individuals in the store, did Javion come in and buy some cigars from him? And I don't know why, they were asking that. Oh yeah, Francis Cress Wilson. Yeah, people. And that's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother different conversation. I don't want to get off, but yeah, the ISIS papers. I know about Francis Cress Wilson as well. And Brain lied to the family about Javion's conditions. That's why they couldn't see Javion, and that's what I believe too. There was some doctoring going on. As many of you may know, I did attend the funeral celebration, the homegrown memorial service for our brother Javion, in which it was very, very, very well attended. And I did get to see his body close up before anybody got there. Before anybody got there, I was there. Like, I think the service started at maybe 11. I got there at 9, even before Javion got there. Well, his physical body. I think he was there in spirit the whole while, right? And so when they got, when they brought the body in, then I walked in behind them, and I asked the question. I said, what was the are you guys did you guys do the are you guys did the bomb and everything? She was like, yeah. I said, well, what was the condition of his body? And this a black lady as well. The black lady looked at me, and once again, you can read those reactions. She was like, who are you? I was like, well, I'm just I told her who I was. She was like, nah, I haven't been granted, permission to speak with anybody about it, right? And so that right there, once again, the spider senses go up, because once again, if nothing was wrong, oh no, the body was fine. But if you are concealing something, that means there's something to conceal, right? And so they went on to, and because of her demeanor, they went on, they walked back out, and then when they came in to open the casket, and they do their, pull the little sheet out and, make it all decorative. They twist it up so they can, lift them up out of the casket. So I watched all of that. But because of her, that her kind of secretive nature, I wanted to be kind of careful of what I did when I saw, walked up to the casket and saw the body. So they did all of that, and then they walked out. And, that's when I went and looked at him. I examined him, and, I noticed, his nose, one of his nostrils was little, pushed in than the other. One side of his head, it looks like it was further indented than the other, and all of this was on the left side. And there was a little, like a little, if you ever played, or if you ever wore glasses for a long time, the little lines like that, there was one of those. So there were some things, and then most importantly, his hands were inside the casket. His hands were inside the casket. And so most funerals you see, where are the hands at? The hands are right there on the chest. And so once again, all of these things are in hindsight, because you're not noticing them in real time. And so, but his hands were not shown. So now I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, and I didn't want to be so forthright because of the way that she was, kind of, asking me, like, who am I? But and so when I was sitting there watching them, do all of this, put the, little flowers on the casket, and, do whatever they do. The lady looked back at me. Now, after I asked her what, so she said, well, what do they still, what do they think? So now I'm asking the question, like, what you mean? Well, what do they think happened? Do they still think it's a, and I'm like, oh, okay. So once again, that's a hint. That's a red flag. Like, well, why wouldn't it be? If you got the body, like, why wouldn't it be? Hold on, let me see. So we got a missed call. Once again, y'all feel free to call in and chime in. I know we don't be having a lot of calls. Y'all feel free to chime in. Also, let me put the they done changed the format up here. If y'all do want to donate, that's donate. But but when she asked me that, I'm like, why are you asking me what was wrong if nothing was wrong, right? And so at the end of the funeral service, I'm outside talking to the family and stuff, and at the funeral, the mother called me up there and was like, look, come look at this. And imagine I had already saw this, but once again, I didn't want to be so forthright up there taking pictures in the funeral while the family is trying to grieve, trying to say their last goodbyes. Like, I didn't feel like that was the time or the place for me to be doing, investigation over the cast. But the mother, they called me up there and was like, yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And if I would have been thinking in hindsight, of course, I'd have been snapping right then because of, the sheer invitation to look, right? But once again, out of respect for my brother, out of respect for the family, out of respect for the people who were crying and grieving, I just feel like I didn't feel like that was the time. But so we're talking outside, and I'm like, well, I told I think the family, I think it was the mother. I was like, look, I asked her, what was the condition of the body when, so the family couldn't request his hands be shown. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't see, all of this is happening in real time, right? So nobody, just like the family, when it first happened, the family, they won't thinking of any investigative antenna stuff. They're probably just, they're in shock. So they're not looking at everything. That's where, we come in. So even after the funeral, I told the mother, said, look, I asked her, what kind of condition was the body in when it came? And she was like, she couldn't talk to me because I wasn't family. And so I was like, did you ask her that? She was like, no. Come to think about, where's she at, right? So we went looking for them, and soon as we, soon as we was about to ask, the hearse was already pulling off, right? So now, once again, there's still a question that could be asked, but that's only by the family, right? And so, once again, I hear people talking about the funeral home and their business to protect as well. Now, once again, white people hate black people because of the promise God gave to his people. Okay, I can get it. But yeah, we're going to address that like in a whole nother life. That's something that, we need to, like, why, but that's still a question though that the family can ask, the funeral people, as well. But then, like I said, the funeral people have a quote unquote business protect, and once again, they are somehow connected as well. They don't want to, ruffle any feathers or like, hey, yeah, man, this body came from such and such, and we want them investigated. So then, what do they get the reputation as? Oh, well, don't send them no bodies, or when you got the bodies from them, So those are all things that have to be sacrificed, like justice, and for those of you who believe in the Most High, Yeshua, if you believe he gave the ultimate sacrifice, some things have to be sacrificed in the pursuit of righteousness, in the pursuit of justice, in the pursuit of redemption, salvation, all of these things. Some things you just have to, all right, man, I'm just going to go ahead and sacrifice. I'm going to go ahead down here. And, that's what I've been feeling lately, man. I know if y'all watched the previous video, y'all know that I received a phone call. Many people who heard the voice of the phone call feel that it may have been one of the detectives. And one of the detectives allegedly one of the detectives called me and was like, why you online, talking about this and that, man? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, we are trying to, find out who's who and what's what. He was like, man, nah, you online, man, you talking about people. And then the last thing he said was, be careful, my brother, and hung up the phone, right? Many, y'all can go back and analyze that conversation. Many people said it's the guy from, Sheriff Brain. Some people said it's the other guy interviewed from the sheriff office. Some people said it's, Detective Tory. All of those things. So, but, I received, some people would consider that call a threat. Now, also, I received some text messages, after exposing the gentleman who said that Javion was beat up. See some text messages and some more calls. Hey, man, we're going to send the good old boys out there to Goldsboro or Virginia Beach to come, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, bet. And so I, I ain't, once again, of course, we ain't no killer, but don't push me. First of all, in the words of Pox, ain't no killer, but don't push me. But I also ain't silly as well. So I took those, I weighed the options. Okay, well, watch my surroundings. And, from the beginning of this, people was telling me, yo, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, careful, be careful. And it got so redundant. I'm just like, all right, man, I'm gonna leave it alone then. You know what I'm saying? If y'all so scared for me, then, and I'm not scared, then maybe I should be scared, right? But nevertheless, it ain't. Yeah, we can't let this go unobserved now. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it seems like all of the prayers, all of the investigation we've done is coming to fruition now. Before I talked about the incubation period, where you do all the work, you're trying to find the answers, and then you lay back. And then after you lay back, then the answer comes to you. So the answer seems to be coming in the form of self-destruction of the entire Henderson department. Now, before I get this information that I got right here, I'm gonna share with you that kind of exhibits the actual fall of this of Henderson and their leadership structure. Then we got to talk about the quote unquote $228 mysterious Patrick West guy. Now, y'all know Patrick West is the guy that they have used to push the narrative that our young brother was intent on, deleting himself, as some would say. Now, this is Patrick West. Y'all know Patrick West. We did an interview with him ourselves, in which he pretty much claimed in so many words that the police put him up to it. Also, he did an interview with one of the news stations as well. Like, well, and they asked him, well, what did Javion say? Well, he didn't say nothing. He gave me the money. But then he said, oh, yeah, that's right. He said, if I had more, I'd give it to you, or something to that nature. So he forgot his script a little bit, but then we've all did the, from what I received some text messages around the New Year's, and so everybody is doing good, and so so this is Street Angel said, well, 50% or more don't trust whites. I have no idea why any other race trusts them on God. And that's coming from, one of our white supporters. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Street Angel. But so the fact that, Patrick West kind of admitted that, well, I didn't really want to be involved anyway. It's the police that made me say it. That's what he said pretty much on one of the videos. And the fact that he has an extensive criminal record and has never been convicted. And the only time he was convicted, I think, was in Raleigh, not in Henderson County or Vance County. Lets me know. Shalom, Portia Newton. So the fact that happens lets me know that, he may be a Ponzi. He may be a pawn. He may be somebody that they use when they need to, get a star witness or whatever. And so there are several aspects to this. A lot of people are calling in question the trucking company. Did they have insurance on Javion? Did there, is there some kind of setting up going on where they set up truck drivers to come to these towns? Why are they not investigating? And it seems like, and getting to the spiritual part of it, I am beginning to realize that, this is spiritual, this is demonic. There may be a ritualistic sacrifice to not only Javion's, but of course, once we started covering Javion's, a lot of other cases kept popping up on our radar where we see these strange hangings, but they're going to call them mental health issues and self-unalivement. So there may be a ritualistic sacrifice that these evil people are doing. Now we all hear about the things in the music industry and the sacrificial stuff and the rituals they be going, whether they be sexual or demonic or even involving the taking the lives of others. Even in the scripture, it talks about that, sacrificing your children to Molech, or sacrificing people as well. Like that's what they did in the Roman culture with the gladiators. They glorify it in the movies, but what that was is a ritual. Like, we're going to put some people in there and let them fight to the death. Like they were sacrificing to the gods, as they say in Rome. Now, and a lot of this went on in certain cultures. I used to study geography, history. I think it was in South America where they would raise a king like from birth. This kid was chosen to be a sacrifice, right? But all throughout his childhood and his life, he was treated like a king. He was given the best thing. He was treated like royalty. In his younger years, he was given, against women. He was treated like the death. But when it was time to sacrifice him, that's what they did. He was the sacrifice. And there were cultures who literally did that. Like, okay, this child right here, your child is going to be the sacrifice. We're going to raise him up. We're going to treat him good. We're going to, this is the sacrifice. And so KKK, I see you, that they are witches. That's true as well. And I wanted to take this picture. I was actually, where was I at? Yesterday, I was in Clayton. And I turned down this road. And I'm driving down this road. And on this road, there are 3 crosses. 3 wooden crosses. And I wanted to stop and actually do a live so bad right there. And I may go back to do it just to show you guys how, it's right there in our face. Now, of course, they're going to say that's 3 crosses, one for Jesus, one for the criminal on the left, and one for the criminal on the right. But there was no church in sight. They got 3 crosses in this county, Johnston County. I'm just going to say it. I was in Johnston County, which is known for outright KKK-ness. KKK-ness. Don't go back there. I got to go back there because I was looking at a car, in that area. It's at a car lot. But it's right down the street. Like it's not way back in the woods. Now I ain't going all that, but it's sort of like on a main street where a lot of and it's just like indented. Like it's indented and it's right by some woods and it's 3 crosses. So I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. Possibly next week. But that's what we're dealing with. It may be ritualistic, it may be spiritual, what I'm saying. But once again, as we know, what the scriptures say, a house divided against itself can't stand. What I'm saying? It's Satan, what I'm saying, that like evil is going to destroy evil regardless. What I'm saying? So when I was in the streets, right, I used to run with guys who, we made a lot of money together. We gambled together. What I'm saying? We got in some beefs together. But sooner or later, the guys in the group started turning on each other. What I'm saying? A couple of them broke into my houses. One of them, started making more money than everybody else. And, they broke into his house. You know what I'm saying? And, so sooner or later, if you do evil, it's going to come back on you. the Bible speaks of digging a pit, and then, be careful when you dig a pit, because you're going to be the one who falls in that pit. Or as Nas said in one of his raps, dig a bigger hole in your soul. So this what we're seeing. We can't discount the power of prayer. We can't discount it. I know a lot of people say you pray too much, but no, when you really pray and you believe, and once again you do the work as well, like, as it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. Ask what you will, and it shall be done to you. If you have faith with this mustard seed, say to this mountain, be you removed and cast into the sea. And this is what we see is happening. You all heard the reports of Sheriff Brain, a snake eating its own tail. I like it. Sheriff Brain, being attacked. And you see right now he's being attacked physically and even financially. But let me show you this as well, because this is an example. And I actually I messaged this lady who put this information out. Hold on, I hope it don't see if she messaged me back real quick. But so what you do in the dark will come to the light. Greetings. Yeah, we are at war. Yeah, so pray without ceasing. Yeah, so right. They hate us so much. I be asking that myself. Yeah, that's a question that we gotta ask. We gotta ask, them people that, the white people that. We gotta ask them that. Like, why do white people, and once again, I got white associates who, are married to black people, and they don't agree with it, they see it, but I gotta ask them, okay, why do your brothers and sisters, why did your grandmother hate my people so much? And we need an honest answer. Just, don't give us the tiptoe around, well, it was just, I didn't think they hated y'all. They were just doing what everybody else did. No, like, why do white people hate us so much? But listen, Obey, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Miss Person. So, but let me show you a couple of this right now. The information, then I'm gonna let y'all go. What's up? I see you. So the information that I received was of a young white man. Well, I don't know if he was young, but this was a white man who evidently worked closely with the mayor of Henderson, who is Melissa Wright. I'm not Melissa Wright. That's my classmate. Shout out to Melissa Wright if you're listening. But Melissa Elliott. Melissa Elliott is the mayor. So this guy who works closely with the mayor actually set himself on fire in a self-unalivement attempt. And in his notes that he left, stated that he could not deal with the pressure of being forced to do something evil in that office. Now, I'm going to show you the messages that he sent, and I'm going to show you the response that Henderson County put up. This guy felt so pressure. He said, look, man, I am going to die before I bend to evil. And literally set himself on fire. And he did it in the neighboring county, which is Warren County. But it was said that deputies from the Vance County Sheriff's Office came, to I guess put him out or whatever. Nevertheless, the man survived. Now I may even show you some more of the posts. But this is what the man said, and this is what they said in response to it. Y'all just listen to this. Hope I got them in order. Hold on. Okay, nah, it's not that one. Okay, so here. All right, so y'all read this with me. I don't know if y'all can see it, but no, y'all can hear it. And this happened, it says early Tuesday morning. which is this Tuesday, friends and family of Public Works Assistant Director William Bailey received 2 notes. So this is the guy. He's William Bailey. And he sent them some notes. He sent the friends and family some notes. He said one was a list of issues. The other, a list of issues Bailey had with Mayor Melissa Elliott and the city government. Bailey survived a S-word attempt later that day and is in the hospital at the time of the writing. So this ain't allegedly. Like this is coming from, I guess this is an article. And I'm gonna try to find that press release at a later time. We're gonna deal with this whole thing. But he said Bailey made a bevy of accusations against the mayor. Who was the mayor? Let me show you who the mayor is. The mayor is Melissa Elliott. This is the mayor. This is the black mayor. She's the mayor. But this guy made a bevy of accusations against the mayor that she and or members of the council, Geraldine Champion in particular, were harassing, intimidating, and pressuring employees in some fashion, driving by their homes, pushing them into political areas, and treating white employees differently than black employees. Now, I'm gonna peek around the corner for this. Now, this looks like he's trying to say a little bit of reverse racism. This is what's up, Graham Rockingham. So now he's trying to claim a little bit of reverse racism. Now, I once again, I did. This is a tough situation because, of course, if you're in that position, but black people have to be careful about this. Because I'm gonna do another video about another black. See, when white people are in power, let's just be honest, they can do what they want to do, right? They can do all the corruption, they can steal all the money, they can give all their friends the contracts. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, right? They can do all the crime and cheating and stealing and deceit they can, but the delectable Negro, I heard about that group. He was white, right? So, but nothing will happen to do. But as soon as your black behind get in office and think you're going to do the same cheating and stealing and corruption, you're going to jail or you're going to be out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's y'all tell me if I'm lying. So this is a part of, once again, those when you in black, when you in black and you a high place where you mayor, governor, or president, you got to play ball. And you got to play ball how they going to say you. Like, you may be able to do some stealing, but it's going to be for them. Once you try to steal for yourself and help out your homeboys, oh, nah, brother. Nah, we going to impeach you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, our sister evidently has been doing. I'm going to continue. I'm going to hide back behind this and continue. Now, he said some employees, Bayer wrote, had cowered in somebody's presence, like the mayor's, given the context. So what he's saying is some people are backing down, right? And so let's read this other part of the letter. Let's see. What it say? Okay, so it says. Oh, I gotta remove this. Let me remove this banner real quick. All right, so it says Bailey didn't include any specific instances of that treatment, the city employee wrote. However, that the city paid for half of the mayor's recent trip to Rwanda, and he urged readers to investigate the $60,000 wire transfers to and or from the mayor's quote unquote bankrupt nonprofit. Now let's talk about it. We got to talk about this now, because mind you, this man is writing all of this when he is about to unalive himself, basically set himself on fire. We're going to get to all of that probably in another show, right? But he's saying, like, and you don't say like this is stuff, once again, that you say and know that you are going to get retribution. That's why he said, look, I'm going to leave y'all this information, but I know I'm going to get dealt with, so I'm going to deal with myself, but this is why I did it, right? And so he's saying that now they say that they gave her, somebody said that they gave her $30,000 to go on the trip for her nonprofit organization, but they said there was an extra $30,000 that she wasn't supposed to get. So I guess that's the $60,000. But they said that the trip was half of that, $30,000, right? And then he said her nonprofit is bankrupt. Now I've heard, once again, we did a whole show on Melissa Elliott. Her son called. We had a nice conversation. That's my mom, man. Of course, what are you gonna do? You going to take up for your mama? Like if anybody say something bad about my mama, I'm going to take up for her, right? And so this is Daniel Penny is crazy. Now that's crazy. But so he's basically exposing this mayor for it. Now people have already came and said, okay, well, yeah, she was up there. She was taking homeless people to the polls. She was doing this. She was doing this. Her organization is crooked, blah, blah, blah. I let her live on all that. You know what I'm saying? I let her live on all that because, once again, we were focusing on the people who, quote, unquote, had power to investigate it. And mind you, in her response to Javion's demise, she mentioned justice for Javion 4 times in her press release. So that's why I kind of gave her kind of the, the pass a little bit. But now everybody got to get it. You know what I'm saying? It's been 4 months. Everybody can get it, right? And so this man is exposing her. Let's see what else he had to say real quick. What did he say? Okay, so this is the second one. You heard what he said? He said, I will exterminate myself before I bend to crooked politics, Bailey wrote. Admitting, yeah, this is what's going on, God first. Admitting that, yeah, I'm gonna die first before I bend to. May I ask what type of disasters have your state faced? Yeah, we'll get into that on another live. But okay, so here he says the city government put out a short press release on Friday morning responding to those accusations. Here they are. They're trying to get in front of it, right? As they normally do. They said the city put out a short press release responding to those accusations, beginning by expressing appreciation for the public's engagement in the matter. Now he says, we want to clarify that in accordance with North Carolina General Statutes 160, 160, all matters concerning employee confidentiality are strictly private. Consequently, we are unable to share specifics related to this situation. Of course, you never can share anything that's going to put you in a bad light. Now, he said, now, okay, so here they go passing the buck again, just like they did with Javion. He said, it is important to note that this incident occurred outside Henderson's jurisdiction. Does that sound familiar? That's what the city put out when they found Javion. The Warren County Sheriff's Office is overseeing the matter, and we stand committed to transparency while upholding our legal and ethical responsibilities. Long story short, what they're saying is, look, man, we ain't got to say nothing because it ain't happening here. So, we want to say something, but we can't because it ain't happening here. Whatever. So it says, but according to a source close to the case, a Henderson police officer was the first to arrive on scene at Bailey's house in response to the 911 call. The release went on to read that Elliott passionately emphasizes the city's strong dedication to the well-being of its staff and that she assures residents that Henderson is on a path of growth. And let's see what else she says. Oh, dedication. Say Henderson is on a path of growth and positive community service. We are also committed to respecting our staff's privacy in their personal lives. How are you committed to respecting his privacy? You're the one he's quoting that you're the one who's pushing him to this point, Mayor Elliott. Now we're gonna have to do a whole show on this one. Thank you for understanding as we navigate this sensitive situation with thoughtfulness and respect. The release read, together we will continue to uphold the values that make our community strong. What values? Covering up stuff? Mayor Pro Tem Gary Dakey, if I didn't pronounce that right, y'all correct me. Gary Dakey, on his visit to Bailey, spoke nothing but positive of the public works staffer, describing him as energetic, upbeat, happy, and purposeful at work, always on top of the scene for public works matters. Many citizens can attest to his swift response to their request for service. Few, if any, could speak negatively of the man. He's a beam of light. Last one. He's a beam of light for Henderson, said Dakey. We need more folks like him. In addition, increased pressure, he described in the notes, Bailey was under a lot of weight from personal matters. Okay, he and his wife Misty are open about her ongoing health issues, and he had concerns over the direction in which the city was going based off what he saw at council meetings, Dakey said. Misty declined to comment on the situation, but did ask the folks to keep him in their prayers while William recovers from the flu and pneumonia. He got the flu and pneumonia. He got some burns too. One Laura Perkinson, and actually that is the lady that I messaged today, and she has been going in. She has been sharing a lot of information. Like it looks like the city managers, the city assistants, like everybody is retiring from the government because I think as they say, the defecation has hit the ceiling fan. One Laura Perkinson posted the note and all of its accusations to Facebook, where she also called for Elliott's immediate resignation, along with all those contributing to corruption in the county, she said. Now, she's been on it. Hopefully, we're going to get some information from her about the continued corruption. Now, we already exposed the corruption, but this is an inside source which has a lot more information. This is a developing story, and further details will be reported as the Dispatch receives them. Now I guess that's from the Dispatch. Maybe I'll look up that article. But yeah, Uncle Ruckus, I see y'all. Last year I'll be first. I was wondering where you been at, man. Sound like HIV, you stupid. So, but there you have a where's my charts? Then you have a citizen and an employee of the public city works basically setting himself ablaze because of what he has seen. We have several Anchor ruckus types in Vance County and Granville County. Simply Shatis, I see you. Simply Shatis, won't you the one that gave us that call? I've been looking for you. Give me a call back. This is off the record, though, because I think now, if y'all remember Simply Shatis, and shout out to you for speaking out. She's the one that gave us the story about the deputy. And if y'all can go back and look at this story, I think y'all might have missed this one. The deputy who was dating a white man's wife. I'm so sorry about them being mean to, and I will be the first to apologize. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I tried to call you sweetheart and apologize. And this is my public apology for Simply Shatis and also anybody who I have been, mean or short to or confrontational with in the, in the pursuit of these matters. You know what I'm saying? That is not my intention. Sometimes, this is a very passionate, emotional, quest. So, anything that I've done is not intentional. I'm a human being. I get mad. I get angry. I get frustrated. I want to throw in the towel. I want to pick up the gun and shoot in the air. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. I don't got no guns. But, but yeah, she told us about the story of the black deputy out in, was it Granville County? It was one of the surrounding counties who was dating a white man's wife who worked at the sheriff things. The white man unalived his wife. First of all, she went missing. The day after she went missing, the house burned down, and she went missing and wasn't found until a year later. And she was found in a hog pen. The only thing they found of that lady was her skull. Right? And shout out to my sister who told me about that, Simply Shatis. So she told us about that. Now, 2 weeks after the white wife went missing, the deputy, and I'm gonna have to revisit this story. The deputy was found in his garage. Now he was married as well to another white woman, and so there's a whole rabbit hole to that story. But she's the one told me about that story. And mind you, as he stated, the guy set himself on fire in Warrington. But the first person who responded was a Henderson police officer. All of these counties, Warrington, Franklin, Vance, and Granville, are so interconnected, like it's scary. And so anytime you're in any of those areas, you are, behind enemy lines, basically. Yeah, look up that story. If you go back on the channel, go back probably like this was, where was I at? I was in Atlanta. So that had to be November when I did that story. That was it. To go back and look at that story. I break that story down. And since I did that story, I received much more information about the corruption of that. And mind you, the Granville County Sheriff right now, Brandon Wilkins, just getting out of jail, he was plotting to unalive. That's how we first stop it, man. You stupid, man. So, but yeah, so he was plotting to unalive a sheriff deputy who had him on recorder using racial slurs. And these jokers in Granville said when he gets out of jail, we'll elect him again. That is what you're dealing with, right? So, man, it's so much that goes on around these towns. That's why, I think that, the fact that we have not let Javion just disappear, just like the case of that black, they're like The person said nobody talks about the black deputy sheriff like anymore. Like even when it happened, like nobody even mentions it. So the fact that people have highlighted this and brought this town to light, like everything's got to go up in smoke now. Like nobody's used to what somebody calling the sheriff office asking somebody coming here. Asking people what's up. Somebody went to T&R truck and trailer and be like, yo, what happened? Somebody went to the police station and picked up a police report. Somebody called the sheriff Brame and asked somebody, and mind you, none of the council members, none of the county commissioners have returned my calls. I've left several messages. Once again, I'm at the point now because, once again, I'm ready to go back down there. You know what I'm saying? And just go back down there. Just, not with a group. Just hey, look, okay, what have y'all found out? I know y'all know, but this is what it is. Like, because, like I said, we can't let this situation die. So believe me, I have not, you know what I'm saying? If we ourselves tell them our kids aren't safe, families and safe. Yeah, and I still so I did talk to somebody simply should teach. So you got to tell me where is that segregated pool that you told me about? Because I've talked to a couple of people and they said, well, I haven't heard anything about a segregated pool. So you let me know. Like you said, you got my number, call me. Totally off the record, no recording, just between me and you, 919-587-7782. But I appreciate your boldness, and I believe you, like when the passion in your voice, because I've heard it. I've seen the fear in the people's eyes myself. I've seen the, like when I first went into that. Now, mind you, when I first went, first place I went to was the Shell station because I was hungry. And so I went and they had some good chicken. Shout out to the lady back there cooking the chicken. I heard she said she liked my lips too. But that's neither here nor there. What's up, Miss V? I see you. 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 I don't want to hear it no more now. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my girl, Miss V, MTGV Crime Podcast, who brought a lot of these situations to light, who helped with, just analyzing stuff. Give an example, man. Shout out to my girl, Miss V. Shout out to Introvert Rockstar too. I see you in the building, my boy. He also been bringing a lot of stuff tonight, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We about to wrap this up, but the first place I went to was that Shell station. And when I went to the Shell station, I asked the ladies when I was getting the chicken. You know what I'm saying? I asked the ladies I was getting the chicken. I was like, yo, y'all ain't heard about that. And I'm talking, they gave me that. Don't you come around here thought no trouble look. You know what I'm saying? They looked at me and they got, you know what I'm saying? They got kind of quiet. The other girl, one girl looked like, I was speaking Spanish. The other two sat back and was like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, boom, okay, I get it. So I went to, talk to the brother Malcolm. Y'all saw the brother Malcolm, the first one I talked to, who was like, yeah, man, we found him right there cutting grass. You know what I'm saying? They found him cutting grass, right? So they didn't want to talk then. Now, after, the video started coming out and people started talking about it, because like when I first looked in there, like the people was like, man, this is all on the news and everything. Like they were literally talking about it when I got in there, but they didn't want to, talk to me about it. But then my brother, shout out to the investigator, I ain't gonna say your name, but he went down there. He went down there and talked to him. And, this, now mind you, this is probably like 2 months later. He went down there and talked to him and told him that, he was looking at the case and he was, trying to find out some information. And, he was kind of not working for me, but, he had mentioned me. And they was like, oh, yeah, him. Yeah, he did come in here one time. And, yeah, we didn't talk to him, but we ready to talk now. But, I haven't So somebody says they stuffed his sock in his mouth that was missing so nobody could hear him crying out for help. And then they got rid of that sock because his DNA would have been on it from his mouth. Okay. Now that sounds like an inside story. And I know people from the town knows exactly what happened because somebody said, look, the car that was parked there, the car that one of the people drive was bent up where they beat him up there, or something like that. Like the car was wrecked. But the fact that the people would want to talk to me now, and I still haven't had that conversation with them. Once again, I know they are still probably scared. It's sort of like the people down there in Liberty, Mississippi. Y'all remember Liberty, Mississippi, where Tremaine White was found in the Emmett County jail after being arrested by the police and having a fight with the police, and they told him that he was going to pay for it. His mother came down there to the jail to see him, and they hadn't booked him on charges. They hadn't even listed him in the jail, and he laid his head on his mama's shoulders and was like, "Mama, I'm sorry, Mama, but they going to unalive me tonight." Like it was that like real. That he like whatever he did to him, like, because they said that he was fighting them back because they said like he threw out a paper towel on a parking lot when he went to get a towel, right? And then when he went to get a tire, and so the guy called the police. He went in the Moose store, which Moose is like the Shell in Henderson, where they serve what's up, Marcus? I see you, my guy too. Where they sell like food or whatever. He was sitting there eating. The police came in there, tried to yank him out. He like, "Nah, I ain't going nowhere. Like, what's your probable cause?" And then if y'all will listen to the phone call that I had with the people at the Moose store, the guy admits, he was like, "Yeah, like, the video was very severe." That was his calculation, very severe. So basically, it looks like my brother was getting the best of the police. And when they got him down to the station, they literally told him, they had to tell him because that's what he told his mother. The next day, he was found in the cell. Now, mind you, I called that store twice and I got the same response. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. I said, well, can you confirm, was he unalive? Only thing I know, they had a funeral for the boy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, boy, like, he's a grown. So, but that mentality of fear is what holds a lot of these investigations back. And so hopefully once again, I see my girl said that what was that fact or fiction. A lot of people have been just given so many narratives, but I know the truth is somewhere in those narratives. The truth is still somewhere out there. Somebody knows the truth. And there's been too much information provided about, our brother Javion throughout the months to just sit and believe that, it is what they say it is. And so we once again, I see Marcus in here, Tiara. So I'm gonna hit y'all up, but pretty much later on to kind of get some updates. But we like I said, man, this year, man, it's like it ain't no fear. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fear. Like it's time to go pay him a visit again, or whether I don't know. Like I said, I just don't know but what I've got some confirmation on though, like, just because of what we see going on internally with them, our work has not been in vain. God, people don't like, I believe in the power of prayer. Y'all, if y'all been on this channel, y'all heard my testimony of, how I had to reach out to God in certain situations and I'm still here. So I know the power of prayer. And, somebody actually told me yesterday, And I'm gonna read you the text message. I'm gonna read you the text because that's how it hit. Because I've been like, man, what more can I do? What more can I do? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? I need to go back down there. I need to do this. I need to do this. This is what the person, you know, and I call this person my spiritual advisor. But they said, remember, you were made to rule and slay giants in the spiritual realm and in the natural. In the spiritual realm and in the natural. You're unstoppable and undefeated in God. It's time for you to apply more pressure in the spiritual realm, which means prayer, which means study. You know the power that God has given you, use it. And that is because, you know, I've been conflicted, like, okay, what more can I do, man? Like, nah, I'm not gonna. So once again, there is power in the spiritual realm. Like the scripture says, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against wickedness, against spiritual wickedness in high places, against rulers of the darkness, right? And so, you know, I appreciate, you know, my people for that message because, you know, I've been running around like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, you know, you got to do something, but you know what I'm saying? Like you ever had so much to do, you just running around in circles and like, man, you know, should I go? Should I stay? You know what I'm saying? So now it has given me, you know, more comfort, more peace in seeing that, you know, appreciate you, Marcus. Thank you, everyone, for their input, suggestions, and concern. Do not let this pass. Keep pressing. Yeah, I'm gonna hit y'all up later on today, my brother. You know, kind of get some more insight. But yeah. So it's definitely spiritual. It's definitely spiritual, and you know, like we see the almost imploding of it right before I asked. Like I said, Sheriff Brain got a summons right now. He's trying to fight. The commission will not give him any money to defend himself in the summons because it won't end his capacity as a sheriff. And he's trying to make it seem like it was. So there's a lot more to unpack, especially with the story of the man setting his self on fire. So, you know, shout out to y'all for tuning in. You know, I definitely wanted to do this. Once again, it was 4 months ago where the family of Javion changed drastically. Many of our lives have been, you know, affected, you know, by this story. I really appreciate all of y'all who have been tuning in and, you know, have been, you know, sharing information and sharing the channel and, you know, networking and connecting. Shout out to the, you know, to the other two creators who was in here. Miss V, introvert rock star, for, you know, just joining in and, you know, joining forces and, you know, just once again making those things that are dark into light. Ephesians 5:11. Take no part in darkness, but take no part. I was reading the comment. Take no part in the works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is a shame to even speak of the things that they do in secret. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to expose them. But yeah, it looks like once again, the roof is falling out, or the floor is falling out as well. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all feel free once again to email me, check the website out, purchase the books, but also once again stay stay connected, man. And so I appreciate y'all. May God be with y'all. Y'all stay safe out here. You know, it's kind of cold. Well, it's snowing, and well, it ain't snow, but you know, they closed school yesterday. If the weatherman said snow in North Carolina, they closed school. So I don't know what y'all weather like wherever y'all at. If y'all in California, you know, may the peace and blessings of God be with y'all. a lot of people feel like, there's judgment coming on in LA, that's Hollywood and, all of the stuff like that. So, wherever you at, be safe. Hope and pray that God is with y'all and, he keeps y'all as well. But y'all take care, man. I thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace and love. Y'all have a blessed day.